Welcome to the Daily Influence, where our mission is to deliver a daily dose of positive influence that can uplift you personally or be shared within your sphere of influence. While not every episode may directly apply to your unique circumstances, we strive to provide insights and inspiration relevant to most people's daily, weekly, and monthly lives. Whether you are tuning in during the morning, noon, or night, the Daily Influence is here for you. Listen, share, and embrace the power of influence in your life. Hey everybody, Brian Smith here with the I Am Team series and your Daily Influence. Today we're going to be talking about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation in our workplace. And this can be something that is not clearly understood, not just at the leadership level, but at all levels of organizations. And understanding the importance of intrinsic and extrinsic motivation is really an important factor in being a leader in any role in an organization. First of all, what are intrinsic and extrinsic motivations? Well, an intrinsic motivation is something that motivates us from inside, something that drives us internally, personally, individually. We talk about some of these things in our first book, Individual Influence. We talk about Maslow's theory and how understanding what motivates people and what's important to people as leaders, especially the people that we are leading, is really important. Extrinsic motivation is something outside that motivates people, like their pay, or other rewards that can be gained, the ego, being liked, getting awards. These are external or extrinsic rewards. And again, understanding what motivates people. Sometimes people need pats on the back and verbal reinforcement. Some others might need some kind of remuneration, lunches or money or spiffs or some other kind of reward. Swag, it doesn't matter. But understanding what drives your culture and what drives individuals within that culture is really important to having a workplace that has a cohesive culture that works for everybody. Because if one person on your team has unmet intrinsic or extrinsic motivations, then they will not be performing to the peak or to their highest level. And the way to do that is to understand people. Creating a motivational environment should be positive. Understanding what you can do within your organization, because you may have limitations, you may have budgetary limitations, you may have time limitations, you may have location limitations if you have teams that are spread out. But finding ways to nurture both intrinsic and extrinsic motivations is the best way to have positive influence. For us at IA, we have things like gratitude group, where everybody comes together and has open discussions about what they have gratitude for, but it's also a coaching session. It's led by our team member, Mary, and she gives short but very specific, almost like homework for the team. And they work through this together as a team and they share their experience. And we learn as a team what is intrinsic to each of the team members. And also we learn together what is extrinsic, what's motivating them from outside, what's working. Having open lines of communication with your team, asking them questions, learning about what motivates them is also important. And you have to listen to learn to do that properly. And you have to be sincere. You cannot have positive individual influence if you're not sincere. If you're half-ass about it and you don't take these issues seriously, people will see through it. They'll know that it's insincere, and then you will hinder both intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. You will not fulfill either side of that. And to get there, to be responsible about this, we advocate for you to be smart about it. Set smart goals for the motivation to support intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. Now, SMART stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And we not only teach to set SMART goals, which we think are responsible, having responsible influence, but they lead to SMART tactics. And if you are being specific about what you're doing, and if you are being specific about what you're asking, if you can define the measurement of what you're hoping to get, more productivity, more money, more time away, more balance, whatever it might be measured as individual, by department, by group, or by whole company, get a measurement for it and make sure it's attainable. Understanding what people's motivations are help you to be smart about it. Sharing with somebody that what they need or what they expect isn't attainable isn't necessarily bad. It allows you to have a bigger conversation about maybe something that will lead to attainability in an intrinsic or extrinsic motivation for that person. Because we can't always be specifically specific for each individual's want or need. We don't know what they are. And also realistic. If somebody's asking for unrealistic things from your organization or even from themselves, having somebody share with them and talk through it in a mature, positive, responsible way can help people set better goals, set smarter goals, and also work through smarter tactics to reach wherever it is they wish to be, whatever it is they wish to motivate them. And then timeliness is always important. Is this the right time? Is it the right time for the individual? Is it the right time for the company? Is it right time for the group of people who might be working together? When we put together all of these parts of communication, of smart, of consistency, of listening, of understanding, we can build cohesive and beneficial, intrinsic, very personal, and extrinsic, from us to others, motivations in our workplace. And we can create an environment where our team is invested and feels like they have equity in where they're at and in where they're going. I hope you've enjoyed today's podcast. This discussion about intrinsic and extrinsic motivation can be very complex. Thinking about what motivates you personally and what motivates those around you can really help you to be that leader. And that might be one of the missing ingredients that might propel you and your team into that next level of positive, responsible culture that you might want to be at. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our podcast, Daily Influence. And I look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye for now.